IVM.
News Kids on the Block. We bring to you stories that top the nation's papers, fresh from the IVM and Ascend International School desk. Hi, I'm Kavya.
I'm Anya.
And I'm Trivin.
And welcome to this episode of News Kids on the Block. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. This is our 22nd episode. And that was
really good. That was really
Thanks, guys.
good.
That was so
good.
slick. I loved it.
Okay, so for a change, Anya will be doing a COVID update today. And I'll very grudgingly pass it over to her.
So yes, as Kavya said, I will be taking over the prestigious COVID update, which has not been done in very long. We'll start off with some numbers from India. Right now, we have 111,481 active cases, but we also have vaccination numbers are beyond 100 crores. So this is like really cool and really exciting and all of the other stuff. But that being said, the third wave looks like it's just around the corner as protests in Europe have been breaking out regarding the amplified curbs that the governments have put in place, specifically in Vienna, Rome, Amsterdam, and Brussels. People have literally been on the streets protesting because now everyone has been forced to work from home and anything that's considered a non-essential shop has closed. The Austrian Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg has said that the lockdown would run for a maximum of 20 days, but everyone else seems to think that that's pretty doubtful. A lot of people have called this a protest for freedom because of just how, I guess, toxic COVID restrictions can be. People, and these are countries that are in cities that have hit like their fourth and fifth waves already. That being said, a recent Times of India article quotes epidemiologist Raman Ganga Khedkar, who's part of the WHO's 26-member team to examine the origins of pathogens such as the SARS-CoV-2. He says that the threat of a third wave, which was expected to be more severe, seems to have receded in India. If at all the third wave occurs, we are more likely to have only minor spikes in cases among the vulnerable and unvaccinated individuals. So I think it's really important to stay vigilant. And, it's really great to see things opening up, like going back to school, for example. But the third wave is still a very, very strongly looming possibility. And I would hate to see our country go into lockdown again and for us to deal with it, especially given the situations in Europe right now.
Yeah, Anya, I think it's really frustrating for the protesters. To an extent, I can see where they're coming from because they've just been going back to normal, going to work, going to school, meeting their friends, and the fact that they have to go through the entire lockdown again, I can't imagine how frustrating that is. But at the same time, I do think it's important that the government does whatever is best for the country, whatever is safest for the country, and whatever will keep their citizens safest.
With that, we will be moving on to our next story for today, which is updating you on the Delhi smog. So last week, I had talked about this previously, that Delhi were forced into a semi-lockdown of sorts due to rising air pollution levels in the city. The Delhi government said that schools, colleges, and educational institutions in the national capital will reopen from Monday, the 29th of November. Will be allowed to reopen on Monday, the 29th of November. And electric trucks carrying non-essential items will be allowed in Delhi from November 27th. And the ban on entry of diesel and petrol trucks carrying non-essential items will still be continued until the 3rd of December. This is because they are in combating a really serious situation, facing toxic levels of air pollution at the moment. It's shown just how far the Delhi government have let their situation go because, it's not always been like this. It's the causes of this I mentioned early in last episode. Go check that out on News Kids on the Block. And with that short update, we will be taking a little break.
If you're a cricket fan, check out Edges and Sledges, India's favorite cricket podcast.
The podcast focuses on Indian cricket, the IPL, and has a ton of banter both on and off the field.
We talk about the week's biggest cricket stories with current and ex-international cricketers, coaches, or sometimes just between us.
And it's hosted by me, DJ.
Me, Varun.
And me, Ashwin.
New episodes release every week.
You can catch us on the IVM Podcast's website, app,
or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Check out the Edges and Sledges Cricket Podcast.
Welcome back. You're listening to News Kids on the Block. I'm your co-host Kavya, and I'll take us into the next story, which is slightly concerning, so I shouldn't be sounding this excited. but it is regarding the Taliban in Afghanistan. So the Taliban authorities in Afghanistan issued a new, in air quotes, religious guideline on Sunday that asked the country's television channels and ordered the country's television channels to stop showing soap operas and dramas that featured women actors. And there were several such guidelines that were issued. Like there was also one that called on women television journalists that when they were presenting their reports, they were to wear Islamic hijabs. And there was also a request to channels to not air films or programs in which the Prophet Muhammad or other revered figures are shown. The ministry spokesman Hakif Muhajir told the AFP these are not rules but religious guidelines. And I think it's really scary because the Taliban have insisted that this time they're going to be a lot more reasonable and not as strict. But they've already introduced so many of these guidelines that are prohibiting women from wearing what they want and having a right of speech. And I think it's, like I said, scary because we're seeing this go back to where it was. And even though we were all scared at the start, there was always like this thing that, oh, it's not going to go back to how bad it was. But we're seeing these small things that might lead to something bigger.
I agree. And our next story is coming out of Sudamerica, which is South America in Spanish. It's coming out of Brazil, which is my friend Siddharth's favorite country. He asked me to shout him out in today's episode. So I said, and what the news coming out is from the Amazon rainforest. It has hit the highest level. The deforestation in the rainforest has hit its highest level in over 15 years, official data has shown. So a report by Brazil's Space Research Agency, INPE, found that deforestation increased by 22%, which is an insane number. Just saying that. It probably doesn't seem like much, but it is a lot for deforestation in just a single year. And Brazil was among a number of nations who promised to end and reverse deforestation by 2030 during the COP26 climate summit. Amazon is home to about 3 million species of plants, animals, and 1 million indigenous people. And it is a vital carbon source that slows down the pace of global warming. It is been referred to as the lungs of the earth, and it is essential that we find a way to slow down or reverse the deforestation which happens here. Moving on to Anya for our next story.
With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back on News Kids on the Block.
Hey everybody, it's been a great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On The Habit Coach, Ashton is joined by Namita Piparaya, yoga and Ayurveda lifestyle specialist and founder of Yoganama. They talk about her yoga journey, the different kinds of yoga, and how to choose the one that's right for you. On Misconduct, Raghavi and Nisha introduce us to a French woman in the 1700s who stole Queen Marie Antoinette's diamond necklace by forging her signature. On Audio Gyan, Kedar talks to founder Tanul Vikamshi about his community art and design center, Alag Angle. On The Longest Constitution, Priya shares her insights on the important Nalso judgment of 2014. This judgment recognized the third gender and affirmed the right to self-affirm one's gender. And on Nankari, Sadaf and Archit speak to hotelier Diwan Gautam Anand about his journey through Delhi's past and present. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Also, do check out our various YouTube channels. You can catch them on IVM Podcast/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors on the network this week: Cred, Bank of Baroda, Quota, CoinSwitch, Kuber, Flay Coffee, Intel, and Oxfam India. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Welcome back to News Kids on the Block, where we bring to you all your top news updates. I'm your co-host Anya. Our next story for you today comes from, India, but more specifically Gujarat, where we talk about a bride who went viral on social media after a video clip of her was shared, where she was completely decked up in her sari and her entire, literally everything that one wears for a wedding. And on her wedding day, she took an exam, and it went viral because it just talks about how women in India are kind of forced to prioritize marriage or their domestic life over education. But in this particular story, that wasn't the case. The exam was scheduled before, and it said that if both the families, the bride and the grooms, agreed to together adjust the muhurat of the wedding so that she could take the exam. And they also hope that she continues her further studies. So I just thought it was a really sweet and heartwarming story that I wanted to share. And, hopefully I think it symbolizes a lot.
Thanks, Anya. I think that's a really sweet story and definitely something that should be celebrated. I will take us into the next story, which is about the Swachh Sarvekshan of 2021. The Swachh Sarvekshan is basically a survey that's conducted every year. It's conducted by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs every year. And it basically ranks the cleanliness and the sanitation of different cities in the country. And this year, Mumbai slipped to 37th from 35th, and this is out of 48 cities in the country. And I think this is obviously not a great spot to be on, but because I feel like because we were so busy fighting COVID and we had bigger priorities, it was something that we just let slip down. And I think this next year it's important to make sure that it becomes a really big priority again. But Navi Mumbai bagged the cleanest big city award in the country by achieving the first rank in the category of 10 to 40 lakh population. And it also became the second best performing city in India, for which the Civic Corporation, NMMC, got a rupees 6 crore award. Maharashtra ranked second in the category of states with more than 100 urban local bodies, and it retained its second rank last year among the best performing states. And I think this is, like I said, it kind of, I feel like cleanliness dropped down a little this year when we were fighting COVID and we were busy with saving people's lives, because it is something that is already so important, and year by year it's just going to get more important. And congratulations to Indore, who won the first place for the 5th time. And I'll give it to Anya for our last story of today.
Thanks for that, Kavya. It was really eye-opening. The last story that we have for you today, it was a really sweet story that basically, in case you hadn't heard, Adele dropped her latest album recently. It was the one with that Easy On Me song and stuff. And her album's called 30. And following the release of it, Popcrave on Twitter tweeted, following the release of 30 at Adele, Spotify removed the shuffle button as a default option when playing albums. Kavya, as a Taylor Swift fan, you should know that, they talk about track 1s are so good, track 2 is so good, track 3 is so good, whatever. So I think that, and Adele replied to it saying, this was the only request I had in our ever-changing industry. We don't create albums with so much care and thought into our track listing for no reason. Our art tells a story, and our stories should be listened to as we intended. Thank you, Spotify, for listening. And then a wine glass emoji and then a red heart emoji. And basically, I think that what she was getting at is just that these tracks, they do tell a story. There is a certain system to what they're trying to say and how they're trying to convey the goal of the album. And I think over time now, especially, albums have a certain aesthetic to them. They have something very specific, something very niche that each artist is trying to do with them. And Spotify removing that shuffle option for albums forces you rather to hear that entire song one by one. I'm sure there's a way to get around it, but I think it's really sweet. And I think that it's interesting that artists feel so strongly about it. And maybe as listeners, we should or should not too. We leave you to figure that out on your own.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of News Kids on the Block. Don't forget to tune in to us every Friday for our fresh take on the news from across the globe.
If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other podcasts on the IVM network.
You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
We'll see you next week. But till then, do share this episode with your folks. Stay safe. And don't forget to do your homework.
Have you ever wondered where the business world is headed? How the ways in which we create, market, and sell to consumers will evolve? Or if we'll ever go back to wearing pants while working? For answers to all of this and more, tune into Advertising is Dead with me, Varun Dugirala. Every Tuesday, as I talk to entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers from across business, media, marketing, and beyond. You can catch all episodes of Advertising is Dead on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Eventually, you'll see the end of your childhood,
get accustomed to womanhood,
enjoy the experience of sisterhood,
might get to wifehood,
or not, choose motherhood,
or not. You'll learn to define your personhood,
earn a livelihood,
change the neighborhood,
and get rid of the falsehood that life post-academia is easy.
So join me, Natasha,
and me, Ayushi,
on a journey from station starting point
to station, what now?
Next station, Pudin station, and hopefully, Agla station, adulthood.
Fresh episodes out every Thursday.